I've got a brood of sons who all blame my generation on this. And they say, you know, if we'd actually taken longer-term measures much longer ago, the cost of living crisis wouldn't be upon us. Is that what you feel young people are thinking?
I think in many ways, yes. It's not necessarily to put down to one generation. I think there are sort of multiple generations that this has accrued throughout. The one thing that comes to my mind, and specifically in relation to the current issues we're having, is, of course, a failure to implement a good energy security strategy over the past 12 years that we've had a Conservative government. And also, of course, some of the COVID measures, some of the extreme sort of lockdowns that businesses were put under. I think that it was inevitable we were going to see these kind of impacts following that. And I think that really we haven't seen the worst of it yet. I think it's good that this package is going to help some people, but then you think about how, let's say, for example, the £400 rebate that every household's going to get in the UK. People who own two houses are going to get that twice. People who are on high incomes are also going to get it. This isn't necessarily going to be distributed in the way that it needs to be. And I think that, let's say, a few months on, a few years on, it's also adding inflation to the economy. So it's a good, possibly short-term help for some people, thankfully, who need it. But also it's not necessarily the most thought-through plan. And I think possibly the reason for that is because the government has done a last-minute U-turn basically on the windfall tax, and it's using some of that money towards this package.
Georgia, good morning to you. I mean, you touch upon it there. A lot of this relates to, of course, your household and your wealth. And many young people, especially in cities, they're in flat shares. They could be, 5 or 6 people in a flat. £400 isn't going to go very far for them, is it?
No, absolutely. So I'm just between flat shares right now, actually, because I'm going away for the summer. And £400 when it comes to London bills is absolutely nothing, really, because the rent is often going to be about £1,000 a month if you're in, let's say, a 2-bedroom flat. I know people who have been in flats with 8 people and it's still £1,000 for their own room. So £400, it's better than nothing for some of these people, but it's really not that much. It's not the kind of thing that's going to help you save money for the future. It's not the kind of thing that's going to make you feel a bit comfortable for longer. Unfortunately, I think it's good that this is going to be helping people in certain areas where maybe their energy bill is going to be a massive part of their living cost, and they might be sort of on the edge of homelessness or extreme poverty. But when it comes to young people, let's say on a graduate salary in London, often these are people who, like myself, you can pay your bills, you're not at risk of those kind of extreme pressures, but you're not necessarily able to save money or feel comfortable, and you could really be a few paychecks away from not being able to pay those bills, unfortunately.